Hi there. Did you know that there are 21 official symptoms associated with perimenopause, which is the period of time leading up to the cessation of our menstrual periods? I know that when I went through this quite some time ago now, I honestly had no idea that all these things that I was experiencing were related. There are many more symptoms that aren't official, and we'll cover those in another video. But for now, we're going to use the Greene Climacteric Scale, and I hope that I pronounced that properly, which was developed by Dr. Richard Greene in 1998 in Glasgow and is now used the world over to measure menopause symptoms and to track the efficacy of any treatments that you're taking. It's worth noting that around a quarter of all women don't report any discomfort or symptoms when they go through this period in their lives. That means that there are 3/4 of us, of course, that do, and for some it's life limiting while it goes on. So it's well worth knowing these symptoms. There are, of course, some women who go through an early menopause before the age of 40, usually due to genetic reasons, whether they've had chemotherapy, other health issues. For now though, I'm going to assume that you're over the age of 40 up to the age of about 55, 58. So let's dive in. The scale measures 3 key areas: psychological symptoms, physical symptoms, and vasomotor symptoms, which are related to blood flow like hot flashes and sweating. Let's start with psychological symptoms. These are some of the most common signs of perimenopause. Feeling tense or nervous. So if you've suddenly started to feel anxious and nervous when you don't usually feel that way, pay attention. Difficulty in sleeping. We all go through phases where we don't sleep well, but if this is becoming a habit, it could well be due to your hormone levels going up and down. Feeling excitable. I'm not quite sure what that means. Do you remember years and years ago, or you might not know this, but women were actually treated for hysteria during menopause. Perhaps they were feeling excitable. Difficulty concentrating. I'm sure many of you can relate to that. I know that I found that I couldn't read a book. I couldn't read to the end of a chapter and remember what happened at the beginning of the chapter. I couldn't even remember a sentence at times. And we've all had that thing where we have the words that walk away when we're trying to find them. Feeling unhappy or depressed. Crying spells. I first went to my doctor when I realised that I was silently crying as I was driving my car for no apparent reason. There were just tears running down my face. Very odd indeed. Feeling irritable is also a psychological symptom. On the Greene scale, each of these symptoms are rated on a scale of 0 to 3, where 0 means you don't experience it at all and 3 means that it's severe. So, for example, if you constantly feel irritable, but you can manage it, you might rate it as a 2. If you have that constant anxious feeling or have trouble sleeping, you'd also score those based on how severely they affect you. So let's talk now about some of the physical symptoms, the ones that are most noticeable. So you might find that you're getting palpitations, i.e. your heart's beating quickly or really strongly in your chest, which can be quite alarming. You might feel dizzy or faint. You might feel a pressure, tightness in your head or in other parts of your body. You can have muscle or joint pains. You can feel tired, lacking in energy. Of course, if you're having trouble sleeping, you might put that down to that. You might be having breathing difficulties, that feeling of just not being able to get enough breath in. You might start noticing that you're suffering from headaches more than usual. And you might actually get a loss of feeling in your hands or feet, pins and needles, maybe. Again, the severity of the symptoms are rated from 0 to 3. Please don't forget that some of these symptoms can be indicative of serious problems that are nothing to do with menopause. But it's useful to know that if you have a soup of these problems, it could well be worth looking at hormones and your stage in life. When you go and see your doctor, they will most likely use the Greene Climacteric Scale to monitor your symptoms and any treatments. But you can actually download it yourself from the internet and score yourself over time before you go in to see a doctor. And that will give them an overview of what's been happening with you over the past few weeks or months. There are many more weird and wonderful symptoms of perimenopause, and we'll cover those in another video because your time is precious and I don't want to sit here waffling on or frightening you to death about all the different things that can happen when your estrogen levels keep dropping and then coming back up again and dropping again. So have a look and check out part 2, which will be probably here or even here. And I'm also going to put you a link to Dr. Ferhat Udin's conversation with me about HRT, because in that she describes what perimenopause, menopause and postmenopause are in detail as a healthcare professional, which of course, please remember that I am not a healthcare professional. I simply report on the research that I find, and I speak to many, many women through the midlife movement about their symptoms and their lives. So if you found this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more content, not just on women's wellness and health, but also on thriving after 60, in postmenopause, going through menopause, and work, inspiration, confidence, all the things that we're facing at this time in our lives. Please drop a comment below if you have any questions, and I will do my best to answer it. And also let me know what you'd like me to make videos on for you. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. Remember, knowledge is power. Educate yourself. You're not alone on this journey, and together we're stronger.